Camera is close up on the speaker, intense, serious expression. What if I told you that the advice you've been given about confidence, fake it till you make it, just believe in yourself, is not just incomplete, but might actually be harming your ability to build true, unshakable confidence? Speaker leans back slightly, a knowing, confident smile. Because here's the truth, real confidence isn't about an internal feeling you conjure up out of thin air. It's not a magic spell you cast on yourself. True confidence, the kind that lets you navigate challenges, embrace risks, and recover gracefully from setbacks, is a skill. A muscle. And like any skill, it's built not through wishful thinking, but through deliberate, often counterintuitive practice. Today, we're going to dismantle the myths and build you a blueprint for confidence that actually works. Think about it. We often look at confident people and assume they were just born that way. Or that they somehow bypass fear. That's a lie. They experience fear, doubt, and uncertainty just like you do. The difference isn't the absence of doubt, it's what they do with it. It's how they operate, how they learn, and how they build a reservoir of self-trust, brick by painstaking brick. Most of us are trying to feel confident first, hoping the actions will follow. We've got it backward. We need to act our way into confidence, allowing the feeling to be a byproduct of our actions. ### the story, Maya and the Micro-World Builders. Let me tell you about Maya. Maya was incredibly shy. Public speaking was her nightmare. Eye contact felt like a direct challenge. She worked in marketing, but avoided presentations like the plague. She wanted to be confident, desperately. She tried positive affirmations, power poses, all the usual stuff. It felt hollow. Like she was putting on a costume. Then, one day, she stumbled upon a YouTube channel dedicated to miniature world building. Think intricate dioramas, tiny realistic landscapes, fantasy scenes in a shoebox. She was fascinated. She started small, building a tiny, moss-covered stone wall. It was clunky, imperfect. But she loved the process. She learned about different glues, paints, sculpting clays. She joined an online community. These weren't high-stakes projects. Nobody's career depended on the perfect shade of green moss. It was pure play. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, something shifted. As she mastered tiny techniques, how to flock trees, create realistic water effects, weather miniature buildings, she started sharing her work. First, just photos. Then, hesitant short videos demonstrating a technique. The online community was supportive, curious. She realized she was actually good at this. She had built something tangible, beautiful, and complex, brick by tiny brick. This wasn't about believing in herself. It was about doing the work, learning a skill, and seeing the results. The confidence didn't come from a mantra, it came from the demonstrable competence she developed in her niche. She found herself explaining techniques to new members, answering questions with ease. That casual expertise, born from hours of dedicated, joyful practice, started spilling over. She began speaking up more in meetings, volunteering for small internal presentations. The stakes felt low, almost like another miniature project. And the more she acted on this newfound, experience-driven confidence, the more confident she actually felt. Maya didn't become confident by trying to feel confident. She became confident by doing something she cared about, mastering it, and allowing that competence to build a foundation for self-trust. ###5 main points. Building unshakable confidence. So, how do we take Maya's lesson and apply it to our lives? How do we stop chasing the feeling of confidence and start building the skill of it? I've got 5 unconventional, actionable points that will shift your perspective and give you a real roadmap. Point 1. Embrace the tourist mindset, curiosity over competence pressure. Most of us approach new challenges with immense pressure. I need to be good at this right away, or what if I fail? This immediately triggers our fear response, shutting down creativity and making us hesitant. The tourist mindset flips this. Think about a tourist in a new city. Are they expected to know everything? To be an expert? No. They're there to explore, to observe, to try new things without judgment. They expect to get lost, to misunderstand things, to make mistakes that are actually just part of the experience. They approach everything with curiosity, not the pressure of competence. When you're starting something new, a new project, a new skill, even a tough conversation, instead of thinking, I need to perform, try I'm going to explore. Ask questions. Observe how others do it. Play with ideas. Give yourself permission to be a beginner, to be clumsy, to be openly ignorant. This isn't about lowering your standards, it's about shifting your initial approach from performance anxiety to playful exploration. Action step * for your next new task, big or small, before you even begin, write down 3 questions you have about it. Then, approach the task with the explicit goal of answering those questions, not necessarily getting it perfect. For example, if you're learning a new software, how does this button actually work? What happens if I click that? What's the fastest way to undo something? Frame it as an adventure, not an exam. This subtle shift disarms the pressure and invites learning. Point 2, the power of micro-commitments, the confidence compound effect. We often try to build confidence by tackling huge, intimidating goals. We want to run a marathon tomorrow when we haven't even walked around the block consistently. This sets us up for failure and reinforces self-doubt. Instead, focus on micro-commitments. These are tiny, almost ridiculously small, consistent actions that you know you can accomplish. Think of them as tiny promises you make to yourself, and then keep. Consistently keeping these micro-commitments builds a powerful internal feedback loop. I said I would do it, and I did it. This is the bedrock of self-trust, and self-trust is the engine of confidence. For example, if you want to write a book, don't start with I'll write 1,000 words today. Start with, I will open the document and type 1 sentence. If you want to exercise, don't say I'll run 5 miles. Say, I will put on my running shoes. The key is that the commitment must be so small that it feels impossible to fail. Once you accomplish that micro-commitment, the momentum often propels you to do more. But even if it doesn't, you've still reinforced that critical self-trust. Action step * identify one area where you lack confidence. Now, break down the intimidating big goal into the smallest possible, almost laughable, first step. Commit to doing that micro step every single day for a week. Don't worry about the outcome, just focus on the consistent act of showing up. You'll be amazed at how quickly those tiny wins compound into a powerful sense of capability. Point 3, develop your beautiful failures portfolio, redefining success. We're taught to fear failure. To avoid it at all costs. But truly confident people don't avoid failure, they collect it. Not because they're masochistic, but because they understand that failure is data. It's an indispensable feedback mechanism. They've built what I call a beautiful failures portfolio. This is a mental, or even physical, collection of all the times you tried something, it didn't work out as planned, but you learned something invaluable from it. Think of scientists like Thomas Edison, who famously said, I have not failed 10,000 times, I've successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work. His confidence wasn't in avoiding failure, but in his ability to extract lessons from it and keep going. When you reframe failure as a beautiful failure, a necessary data point on the path to mastery, you strip it of its power to shame you. It becomes an experiment that yielded a particular result, not a judgment on your worth. The more beautiful failures you accumulate, the more data you have, the more resilient you become, and the more confident you are in your ability to navigate future unknowns. Action step * for 1 week, actively seek out a small beautiful failure. Try something new and difficult, knowing it might not work out. Perhaps try a complicated recipe you've never made, attempt to learn a few phrases in a new language and use them, or propose an out-of-the-box idea at work. When it inevitably doesn't go perfectly, instead of dwelling on disappointment, ask yourself, what specific, concrete lesson did I just learn? Write it down. Start building your own portfolio of wisdom gained from not-so-perfect outcomes. Point 4, the competence loop, build skills, not just affirmations. This ties back to Maya's story. Affirmations can be helpful for mindset, but they don't build competence. True, sustainable confidence emerges from demonstrable capability. You feel confident because you know you can do something, or at least you know you can figure it out. The competence loop is simple. 1. Choose a skill * something you genuinely want to improve, even a little. 2. Practice deliberately * not just mindlessly repeating, but actively seeking feedback, identifying weaknesses, and experimenting with solutions. 3. Achieve small wins *. These are the micro-commitments in action. 4. Acknowledge your progress *. This is crucial. Celebrate the small improvements. 5. Experience increased competence *. You get better. 6. Confidence grows naturally *. This isn't forced, it's a natural byproduct. This loop isn't about being perfect, it's about consistent improvement. When you can point to actual evidence of your growing skill, whether it's solving a complex problem, mastering a new software feature, or even consistently cooking a difficult dish, that evidence becomes the foundation of your confidence. It's not just "I believe I can do this," it's "I have demonstrated I can do this." Action step *. Pick one tiny skill you want to acquire or improve in the next 2 weeks. It could be something utterly unrelated to your career: juggling, tying a specific knot, learning 5 new words in another language, perfecting a push-up. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes daily to deliberate practice. At the end of 2 weeks, reflect on your progress. You won't just have a new skill, you'll have irrefutable proof of your ability to learn and grow, which directly fuels confidence. Point 5. Practice calculated vulnerability. Connection fuels courage. Often, we mistakenly believe confidence means never showing weakness or asking for help. We put on a brave face, isolate ourselves, and try to solve everything alone. This is exhausting and counterproductive. True confidence allows for calculated vulnerability. This isn't about airing all your dirty laundry to strangers. It's about strategically sharing your struggles, uncertainties, or needs with trusted individuals. It's the courage to say, "I don't know, I need help with this," or "I'm feeling a bit out of my depth here, can you offer some perspective?" When you practice calculated vulnerability, 2 powerful things happen. 1. You build deeper connections *. People respect authenticity. They relate to your humanity. This builds a supportive network that acts as a safety net, making you feel safer to take bigger risks. 2. You receive support and solutions *. You tap into the collective intelligence and experience of others. You get advice, resources, and encouragement that you wouldn't have access to if you pretended to have all the answers. This reduces your burden and increases your actual capacity. The confident person isn't the one who never stumbles, it's the one who knows when to lean on their community and can articulate their needs without shame. Action step * In the coming week, identify one low-stakes situation where you can practice calculated vulnerability. Perhaps it's asking a colleague for clarification on something you think you should know, admitting to a friend that you're struggling with a particular task, or asking for feedback on an early draft of something you're working on. Observe how this act of sharing actually strengthens your relationships and provides you with unexpected support. Action steps and recap. So, to recap these powerful, unique confidence builders. 1. Embrace the tourist mindset *. Approach new challenges with curiosity, not competence pressure. Ask questions, explore, expect to be a beginner. 2. Harness micro-commitments *. Build self-trust through tiny, consistent, achievable promises to yourself. 3. Develop your beautiful failures portfolio *. Reframe mistakes as invaluable learning data, not personal judgments. 4. Engage the competence loop *. Build skills deliberately, acknowledge progress, and let confidence be the natural byproduct. 5. Practice calculated vulnerability *. Share your struggles strategically to build connection, gain support, and increase your resilience. These aren't quick fixes. This is about building a foundation, brick by beautiful brick, just like Maya building her miniature worlds. It's about becoming someone who does confident things, and as a result, becomes confident. Conclusion. True confidence isn't about never having doubts. It's about having the tools, the resilience, and the self-trust to navigate those doubts and keep moving forward. It's a journey of action, learning, and growth. Start today. Pick one point, one action step, and begin building your unshakable confidence, not on fragile feelings, but on solid, demonstrable experience. If this video sparked something in you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe to LaughTrack for daily motivation. You've got this. Go build.